Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new edition of Message of Hope. And today we have the pleasure to be with Dicken Bettinger, who is a retired psychologist, a long-time educator, and working with the mind spirit from the 3P perspective for a long time, and one of the most well-known teacher also. And he's also the author. Unfortunately, I have it on Kindle and the real thing. Oh, it doesn't show. Coming home. Coming home that he co-wrote with Natasha Sveldoff, which we interviewed a couple of months back. So welcome, Dicken.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks.
And I will ask you the infamous question. And the question is, how does having this understanding, how does that help you navigate stress or different events that might show up in your life, or even COVID? So how does that help you knowing what you know?
Bottom line, it comes down to love. And I've been very interested my whole life and career of studying well-being. And even as a psychologist, when other people were looking at illnesses and problems people have, I was interested in learning about psychological well-being and then later spiritual well-being. And it's been very, very powerful to learn that everybody already has well-being. Now, as a psychologist, no one was saying that. They were saying, well, you don't have well-being and you have to work hard either in therapy or doing practices to gain or develop your well-being. And what I've learned is well-being is already inside of all people. It's already. And it gets covered over by all the thinking we do, and then we get caught up in that thinking. And if we get caught up in negative thinking, we're going to suffer. Plain and simple, that's what psychological suffering is, getting caught up in thinking. And then we're looking out at the world through that lens, and the world looks pretty dark when we're caught up in negative thinking. To know that we're the thinker, and when we realize we're caught up in negative feeling, you can tell by the feeling, tension, stress, upset. And there's lots of opportunity, isn't there? I mean, there's all kinds of things that do happen in life, all kinds of adversity that people are going to face. And sometimes we have a reaction to that in our thinking. And so learning that I'm a thinker, and that when I let go of all of my negative thinking, I become very present. That's what being in the present moment is. Even when you drive a car, you have to let go of your thinking or you'll have an accident. We all get present. It's so ordinary. But often we haven't been taught that in the present moment is the only place we can access this innate well-being. So when people are present, all the stirred up thinking that goes on in our mind quiets down. And when it quiets down in a quiet mind, people anywhere in the world, when their thinking quiets down, start to feel better, start to have beautiful feelings. Relaxation, ease, peace of mind, start enjoying life, enjoying people, enjoying nature. It's built into us. And then we start feeling more connected. So that's why I say, bottom line, it's love. Because knowing what I know now, it's normal to have all these feelings, but when I know it's in my thinking and I let go of everything I'm thinking, I can do that anytime, anywhere, no matter what's going on. It's called being present. It's the most ordinary thing in the world. What I used to do is keep thinking, what's going on? What do I do about it? How do I deal with this? And no one can think their way to the present moment, and no one can be thinking and experience well-being at the same time.
And that's what we learn when we're small. No, I have to
Yeah.
think some more about it. No.
I know. After I learned this, I stopped teaching my kids that. Think about what you've done. I say, oh, you were really upset and made a decision from that state of mind. No problem. We all do that at times. But when your mind quiets down, you'll feel better. And when your mind is quiet and you feel better, you'll have all the common sense you need to deal with any problem in your life. No exception. I said to my kids, that's all I want you to learn before you leave home. Because if you start realizing that it's your thinking creating your tension, stress, and upset, you'll be able to get over your upset very quickly. It's called being resilient. If anybody goes into the world and they're resilient, they do well. They do well. That's one way of defining what mental health is. I said, the second thing I want you to know is that when you fall out of your thinking, you become more present, and there's nice feeling in that place. And when you're in a nice feeling, you'll have all the common sense you need to deal with any problem. It'll be your things that will occur to you to make sense. Oh, I could do this, or I could say this. And it comes from that loving presence, as opposed to your reactive thinking, your negative thinking. So that's what I've learned. That's what I wanted my kids to learn. That's what I want my clients to learn. That's what I teach in my seminars around the world. Underneath all the thinking we're doing is the space of well-being. We already have it. It's always there. Everybody, no exception. And when we drop into that space, these feelings become stronger and stronger. And in those feelings, we have common sense. We make good decisions. We communicate well. We deal with difficulties well. It's built into us. So that's what I've been studying for the last 45 years.
And you have proof that it's working for you and everybody else.
It doesn't mean I don't have my ups and downs like everybody, but knowing this, my book is called Coming Home. I keep dropping out of my thinking into this space of presence. And then it's quiet presence, and then it's enjoying presence, and then it's loving presence. Falling in love. That's what happens when people fall in love. I didn't know you could fall in love with life, Martine. And so I love seeing people learn that they already have what they're looking for or think they don't have. Already have love, already have well-being, already have beautiful feelings, peace, contentment, compassion.
And that's the book. No, I removed the
background. There you are. Coming Home, Uncovering the Foundations of Psychological Well-Being. It was really fun. I waited 20 years so I could make it simple enough and speak hopefully to every person that picks it up. Point them toward their well-being. Point them toward their capacity to fall in love with life, no matter what situations we're in or what difficulties we've been facing.
And that doesn't transform us into the reference that I get is Mr. Spock. No,
Oh
We
my
don't.
gosh, I feel my feelings stronger than I ever have because I'm not resisting, I'm not denying. I don't care if I feel bad because I know it's just a temporary thought storm. I know if I leave it alone, it passes very quickly. And I know that underneath that, there's deeper feelings of playfulness and joy and compassion. And it's a very, very enlivened. Clients go from being living in their thinking most of the day, which makes us into Spocks, into automatons, into robots, into being very serious and upset very easily, very reactive. Right? So it's the opposite of what you would imagine. Less ego, more heart is a beautiful way to live your life.
And that's a beautiful message of hope.
It's all about hope for anybody. I've worked with so many people who thought they were hopeless, and they learn about this, and their hope comes back, and they start accessing and living from this well-being more and more of the time, and they're thrilled about it. I've never had anybody, Martine, go, I'd rather go back to being serious and unhappy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Oh,
very
you're
much.
welcome. Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank
And
you.
if somebody wants to find you, where can they find you?
Hey, you could go to YouTube, and I have a channel, Dicken Bettinger YouTube channel. And a friend of mine put together a beautiful, it's got a lot of my talks and videos. And if you wanted to send me a note, you can always email me at dicken.bettinger@gmail.com. So.
Thank you once again for your wisdom.
Oh, you're welcome, Martine. Thanks for having me.